was that guy? All right. Am I live? Let's double check. I think so. There we go. Yep, so I'm live. All right, sweet. So we're good to go. Video is straight. There we go. All right, awesome, 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 awesome. All right. Let's share the screen so you guys can see this. And there's a few things that I want to discuss. Come on, present. There we go. And so we're talking about mastery, right? In creating the success that you desire. And we've been going through the book on mastery, and I've switched it up a little bit because I know we've been going pretty ham on mastery for the last number of months. So I wanted to break it up. So I wanted to dive into a few things in creating the success that you desire. And I'm going to annotate on the screen in a moment, if it lets me. I haven't figured out how to master that just yet, but I will soon. So this is where we are, right? Creating the success that you desire. So it starts with desire, right? And this takes us to a book that we read with Think and Grow Rich. And they said desire is the beginning, the starting point of all achievement. So we have to look inside ourselves, right? No one can give you the desire, right? You have to have the desire yourself. So when we're starting out something new, whether it's a business, like what we're doing now when it comes to investing, trading, even building a home-based business, right? Network marketing as the industry that we're in. It's got to start with your desire, right? It can't be someone else's desire. It can't be your mom's desire. It can't be your sister's desire. It can't be your brother's desire. It has to be your desire, right? It's got to be your desire. And if it's not your desire, then it's not going to last, right? If it's not your desire, then it's not going to last. So this is where we are. We're starting out. We're on this journey. And maybe you're not starting out. Maybe you've been on this journey for a while. Maybe you've rediscovered some things. Maybe you're saying, you know what? Today is a new day for me. Today is a new revelation. Today is new understanding. Today is something new for me. Well, this applies to you, right? Whether you're brand new or you're starting over or you're making a new decision, right? I'm going to take the proper action to move forward. What we're talking about is desire, right? So you got to understand and ask yourself, why do I want to succeed, right? I want you guys to write that down. Somebody please type that in the chat for me. Why do I want to succeed? Why do I have a desire to succeed? Why do I have a desire to succeed? Awesome, awesome. Thank you, thank you. Yes, why do I have a desire to succeed? And that's the question, right? That's a question for you guys to answer. And I would love for you to answer this question. If you're on YouTube, throw it into the YouTube, right? Why do I want to succeed? Type it in the chat. If you're here on live with us on Zoom, then when you write it down, put it in our team chat, right? Put it into band, put it into our chat. Not the question, why do I want to succeed, but the answer to why you want to succeed. What is it? Do you desire more for yourself? Do you desire more for your family? Are you trying to start a family? Are you already have a family and you're struggling and you want things to be better? Like, what is it? Where are you at this very moment? Where are you? Because that's going to make all the difference, right? It's going to make all the difference. Because if you don't know where you are, then nobody does. So this is where we're starting, right? The desire, the starting point of all achievement. Until there's a desire, nothing gets started, right? Desire, to me, I think of it as a fire, right? Kind of rhymes, right? Desire and fire. But it's a fire because it's something that it gets to the point where it burns, right? And it can burn a little bit or it can burn a lot. It can burn like a little piece of paper and you're like, oh, my desire is crazy. It's on fire. Or your desire can consume you, right? It takes over. It takes over what you think about day to day, right? It takes over what you're thinking about moment to moment, right? They say successful people are constantly thinking about their goals. They're constantly thinking about what it's going to take for them to succeed. They're planning, they're strategizing, and then they're not just sitting down, they're implementing those plans, right? They're taking the action. Why? All that is desire. Right, here's a question for you. How many people around you know what you do? How many people? Right? How many people around you know what it is that you do? How many people know that you're a business owner, right? How many people know that you invest, right? How many people around you know, right? Because like we're talking about the desire, it can, like I said, it can burn a little bit, it can burn a lot. It can be consuming, right? And when it's a consuming desire, sometimes people think, well, it's bad, right? Well, you got to have balance. Okay, check this out, right? When you were a baby, did you have balance? No, you couldn't even walk. But what would you do all day long as a baby? Try to walk. Get up, fall down. Get back up, walk a little bit, fall down. Get back up, hold on to something, and then fall down. But then you would keep doing it. Why? Because it was consuming. There was nothing else going on in your mind. It was consuming you. I must walk. I must do what those big people are doing, right? I must do what they're doing. Then from walking, you learn how to run, you learn how to talk, you learn how to interact with your environment. But it's a desire, right? And it starts as when we're children, right? And it continues as we get older. So it's no different now, right? But we're in this place, we're in this moment right here, the desire, right? It's the starting point of all achievement. So the question, like I said, for you guys is just, what is it that you seek to achieve? Because your desire has to be personal. It can't be about anyone else but you. Now you can incorporate, hey, you know what? I want to do this for my wife. I want to do this for my husband. I want to do this for my girlfriend. I want to do this for my boyfriend. I want to do this for my mom. I want to do this for my dad. And you can incorporate it inside, right, of what your goals are, your desire is, but it can't be just that, right? Unless that's something that sets you on fire. You know what? I want my mom to be financially free. Well, that's great. Well, you know who has to be financially free first before your mom is? You, right? So the desire has to be personal. Then we can extend to people around us, right? That's the first thing, right? I want you guys to identify, right? Desire. What is it that you seek to achieve? And I know we go through a 30-day game plan, right? A 90-day game plan and a 12-month game plan. So I want you guys to use those things, right? And if you don't have it, I'll make sure you guys have access to it, right? Make sure that I can either post it in the chat or I can post it in our group chat. If you guys don't have it, right? But our action plans and then their Google Docs we have, the 30-day, 90-day, 12-month game plan, right? And it's something that's really to keep us on track, right? It's It's taking your desire, making it specific, and elongating it, right? It's taking it over a period of time. So the desire is here, but it just doesn't stay there, right? There's actions that go along that show that my desire is real, right? So that's what the action plan for, right? That's what the 30-day, 90-day, 12-month game plans are for. So I want, if you guys don't have them, I'll make sure that you get them. Right? That was number one, right? Success is in the mind of the knower and the hand of the doer. That's a pretty cool quote. Oh, I wrote it. Success is in the mind of the knower and the hand of the doer, right? So if you know it, success is in your mind, right? You know it. It's in your mind. But there's got to be corresponding action that goes with whatever it is that you know, right? If you know something, then application should come after that. Otherwise, it's just like we're philosophizing, right? We're philosophers. I'm a philosopher for trading. You know what? If you do this, you take $50 and you double it every 30 days, you'll have $10,000, right? That's a philosophy. That doesn't mean anything until I do it, right? It doesn't mean anything until I take that 50, turn it to 100, turn it to the 100, to the 200, 2 to the 4, 4 to the 8, 8 to the 16, right? And you keep going that way. That's the hand of the doer, right? That's the application of it. So do we just want success in our minds, or do we want it in our hands, right? Do you want to touch it? Do you want to feel it? Do you want it to be tangible, right? Do you want your goals to just be in your mind? Like I'm a 7-figure trader, right? That's my goal, to make it be a 7-figure trader, right? Do you want it to just to be a thought and you know about it? Or do we want it to be something that we can touch, something that we can hold, right? I would think we want to hold it. So desire, right? What do we use for desire, right? To intensify, to keep that desire, as Napoleon Hill says, white hot, right? It's an all-consuming desire. You're constantly thinking about it day in and day out, right? We use pictures, physical and mental, right? Pictures in the mind, or there's physical pictures, right? Hold on, let me use this. So pictures that are physical, right? Physical pictures. I don't think I have any in front of me. I know I have one on my phone, right? But it's an image, it's a picture. It's something I look at every single day, right? It's a lock screen on my phone. I don't know if you can see it, right? It's my next car, or really my current car, right? Because I'm constantly seeing it. I'm constantly visualizing it. I'm constantly interacting with it. When I'm driving in the car, right? I see it. Oh, it went out, right? But I'm driving the car, I see it, right? But we want to get to the point where these things become so real. Meaning, like, whatever your dream car is, right? Type your dream car in the chat for me. It's whatever it is, right? Whether you're here on YouTube or you're live with us right here on Zoom, but just type it into the chat. What is your dream car? Whatever it is. It could be a car that's $2 million. Whatever it is, throw it into the chat. Right? Because this is the pictures, and this is how we're going to use the pictures, right? To bring us and pull us and move us towards our desire. Let's see here. 97 Chevy Impala. Sweet. I guess that thing is going to be souped up, because I know it's not going to be a standard 97. SS, okay, got it. But what I want you guys to do, though, is to get the picture, right? You find that picture online, print it out. Why? Because you got to see it, right? Take that picture and put it somewhere you're going to see it every single day. Whether it's in the bathroom, when you wake up, you go brush your teeth, you're going to see it. You're going to see it at least twice a day, right? When you brush your teeth, in the morning and then at night, right? You can have it in the car with you, right? Like one thing that I've done, and I know a lot of individuals do, even when it comes to our company, right? I Am Mastery Academy, they would say your dream car was a Bentley coupe, right? They would get the Bentley symbol and they put it on their steering wheel. Why? Because you're telling your mind, this is what I'm driving, right? And we may say like, oh, well, that doesn't really mean anything. No, it does, right? Your reticular activating system is real, right? Our reticular activating system is, and I'll show you guys here too, but our reticular activating system, if it lets me out of this mode, it's not letting me out. All right, there we go. So our reticular activating system, the RAS, you see something and it continues to show you that thing that you said is important. All right, I'll show you here, reticular activating system. Boom. All right, first one right here, right? The reticular activating system, or RAS, is a network of neurons located in the brain stem that projects anteriorly to the hypothalamus to mediate behavior, as well as both posteriorly to the thalamus and directly to the cortex for activation of awake, desynchronized cortical EEG patterns. You're like, what does that mean? I'm gonna get you to the, no, I don't want the scientific version. So what it means, and I'll pull it up here too. When you see something and you say, this is what I desire, this is what I want in my life, this is what I'm looking to bring into my life, you tell your brain that's important. Like if you say, like whatever your dream car is, right? We'll say the 97 Chevy Impala SS. If you say, this is what I desire, what's going to happen is when you're driving out in every single day, right? To the store, to the mall, wherever, you're going to see Chevy Impalas everywhere. Where before, you may not have seen them. But now, because you told your mind that it's important, your reticular activating system says, hey, you know what? Like I said, it sends the signals to the cerebral cortex and to the thalamus to mediate behavior. What does that mean? It's directing you to what you said to yourself is important. So if that car is important, it's going to filter out everything else and only show you that car, right? If you say, hey, I want a BMW convertible, I guarantee if you say it tonight, you're going to start seeing it tomorrow. And the more that you do it, the more that you see it inside, right? Or the picture that you have, right? The picture that you print out, right? And you put on your steering wheel, or you put on your mirror, right? When you're brushing your teeth, right? You put it on your door, wherever, right? You put it on in your car, right? The little flip down mirror, right? Boom, you put it up there. You flip it down, you constantly see it. You get in the car, you constantly see it. You look at the steering wheel, you don't see whatever car you're driving. You see the steering wheel of that Chevy Impala, that BMW, that whatever the car is, that Bentley convertible, whatever. Why? Because you're telling your reticular activating system, this thing is important to me. And like it says, it mediates behavior. What does that mean? You're going to just be going somewhere randomly. Hey, you know what? I want to drive to the store. What are you going to see? The same thing that you just told your brain was important. And we do it with everything, right? That's everything. That's why the desire is important, because it's going to dictate what it is that you see, right? The same thing when it comes to building the business, right? If you can't see an organization of 500 people, then it's not going to show up, right? Write it down on paper. Put names of 5 different people, right? Who have 5 different people, because you have to see it, right? You have to physically see it. You can see it in your mind, you can close your eyes, you can visualize, which is awesome. But when you open your eyes, what do you see? Right. And that's that's something that we want to make sure that we are keeping in the front of our mind. All right. So number 2, right? Creating your world. Your words fashion your world. Creating your world. Your words fashion your world, right? Your words create your world. The things that we're constantly saying is what is going to show up in our life, right? The things that we're constantly saying is what is going to show up in our lives. If we're saying amazing things and positive things and things that are uplifting to ourselves, then what's going to happen? You're going to begin to see that around you, wherever you go. You're going to see it when you're trading, right? You're going to see it in the market. You're going to see it when you talk to people about business. Why? You can say, hey, you know what? People love to work with me in business. People love to work with me in business because I'm amazing at what I do, right? I'm an amazing 6-figure trader, right? You're saying these things to yourself, right? Those are your affirmations, right? We actually have something too called, and we talked about the other day about affirmations. Talked about that on one of our calls. And an affirmation, different than an affirmation, right? An affirmation affirms something. It makes it firm, right? You're saying it to yourself to make it firm, make it stick. An affirmation is a little different, right? You're saying something in a question, in a question type of statement, and it's like you're assuming that it's already happened. Meaning that when it comes to, we'll say building the business, right? Why is it that people get started with me every single month? Why is it every single month new people get started with me in business, right? You're asking yourself the question, why do people keep getting started with me every single month, right? And you're already feeling it, right? You're feeling that emotion. You're excited, like, man, why is that? And you're asking yourself. And when you ask yourself a question, what does the brain do? The conscious impresses upon the subconscious, and it has to find an answer, right? It has to find an answer. So what is the answer? You don't know, right? It's all right. The brain is going to go find it. It's going to point to reasons why people keep getting started. Even if you don't see anybody right now, it doesn't matter. The more you continue to do this, the more you see the images, right? Because you're creating your world with the images. The more you see it, that is your world. Check this out. This is a story that I learned a long time ago. There was a guy who loved the golf, and he ended up going to jail. And of course, in jail, you can't play golf, right? Not unless he went to like the billionaire's jail, right? Then you can play golf in the recess, right? But he couldn't play golf. But he was reading books. He would close his eyes and he would constantly see himself swinging the golf club, right? He would see himself on the tee, right? See himself on the tee, just stand there, boom, swinging. And he would see himself hitting the ball day in and day out, day in and day out, day in and day out. He would see himself hitting hole in one, right? He'd seen himself, hey, I'm on the first hole. Oh, you know what? I got a birdie on the first hole. Hey, on the second hole. Oh, you know what? I went par, right? Third hole. Oh, I went par. Fourth hole. Oh, hey, hole in one. The whole time he was in jail, right? And it was years. This gentleman gets out of jail. And this is a true story, right? I can find it and post it in our chat. But he gets out of jail, and what do you think he does? Goes to play golf. So he goes to play golf, and he he hadn't played for years, right? Picks up the club, and he goes out there, and he plays almost a perfect game of golf. He was under par, right? There was even a couple hole-in-ones that he hit. And you got to ask yourself, right? Well, how is that possible? He didn't have a club in his hand for years. All he did was close his eyes and see it in his mind. but he saw it every single day, right? Not and then no day passed, right? But it was every single day that he saw it. So that was his environment. And we got to ask ourselves, right? What is our environment? What is our environment? What are we seeing every single day that is moving us towards our goals, or it is pulling us away from our goals, right? What are we seeing inside when we close our eyes every single day that is either moving us towards our goals, towards the success that we desire, or it is pulling us away? What are we seeing? You know, images are words. You ever heard the phrase, a picture is worth 1,000 words? You ever heard that? Let me know, right? Let me know in the chat if you ever heard that a picture is worth 1,000 words. And I heard it all the time as a kid. All the time. Picture is worth 1,000 words. Rolls Royce Wraith. Nice. So if a picture is worth 1,000 words, guess what happens when you imagine something? You're speaking 1,000 words to yourself, right? That image is worth 1,000 words. So the images we see, we could deduce, are more important than even the words that we speak. Right? They're more important because you're seeing it. That's your environment. What is you're seeing, right? I'm looking around the room that I'm in right now. The walls are blue. I see a TV, a monitor there. I see another monitor, trading monitor there. There's a pillow over there, right? This is the environment. But I guarantee you, if I put up different, like I got Batman, I got Magneto, I got Bruce Lee behind me, right? Those are my people, right? So, but if I put up different images, right? Say I check this out, right? And we just did it with when it comes to the guy who was imagining and played an amazing game of golf, seeing a car, right? We've all done it. Say, hey, this car is important. This is the car that I desire. And then you start seeing it over and over and over and over. I'm doing it now, right? I'm seeing it everywhere I go. And it's my environment. My reticular activating system is pulling it to me. It's filtering everything else out. So if we can do it with that, then we can do it when it comes to the business, right? We can do it when it comes to trading, right? And investing, right? And this is one thing I would say, right? Whatever your trading account is, doesn't matter. Whether it's $5, it's $50, it's 500, it's 5,000, it's 5 million, right? Like it doesn't matter. But what I would suggest, right, is you open up a demo account. Open up a demo account. And you say, you know what would it take for me to earn $10,000 a day? Right? What would it take? Or whatever your goal is, right? Say it's 5,000. What would it take for me to earn $10,000 a day? Right? $10,000 a day. Say that's 3%. So to earn $10,000 a day, if it's 3%, that means you have $300,000 in your trading account. Or actually $333,333.33, right? But we're making it simple, 300,000. So you open up a demo account with $300,000 in there, or 100,000, whatever, right? You place the trade, whatever trade that we call, whatever trade that on our sessions that we put through, whatever trade that you see one of the educators put through, and then you profit in that trade, right? Say you made $7,000 in that trade. What I want you to do is screenshot that, right? Or take several trades, right? Make sure you're winning them, right? Well, not every single trade, but overall, right? So you took 5 trades, right? So you won 3 out of 5, 4 out of 5. Awesome. Or 2 out of 5, as long as you're profit, right? As long as you're profitable in those trades. The point of what I'm saying is screenshot it. You can go to Walmart, right? Print it out. Big as day. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do it tomorrow, right? Because I've been talking about this for a minute, but I'm gonna do it tomorrow. So print it out. Print it out. Say you made $5,000 on that trade, $7,000 on that trade, $10,000 on that trade, whatever it is, right? Because the trading account is 10,000. You catch 100 pips or 1,000 pips at a standard. Okay, that's 10 racks, 10 racks. So, but the point of what we're doing is we're conditioning the mind, right? You're seeing it. And say you took it out and you blow it up like on a piece of paper, boom, put it on the wall. Or you take it and you put it on your cell phone, put it as your screensaver, right? You see it every time you pick up your phone. Wow, man, I earned $5,000 in that trade. One trade. That's crazy. That's amazing. $5,000 in one day on one trade. Right? Put it in the bathroom. It's gonna look crazy. I know it's gonna look crazy. But again, that goes back to desire, right? Is the desire white hot? Is that desire all consuming? Is it something that is saying, I'm doing this, right? And everybody else around you knows, man, I know what he's doing, man. I see his pictures all the time. I see his Bentley convertible. I see his $1 million house. I see his beach house. I see his jet skis. Man, he's got this stuff all over his desk, man. Every time I get into his car, all I see is jet skis. All I see is Bentleys. Man, this dude even has a Bentley symbol on his steering wheel. Absolutely. Why? Because you're creating your environment. Creating your environment. One thing we can't get away from is environment, right? And it's been studies that show, right? Willpower is strong. I got a strong willpower, right? Most of you, maybe all of you guys, right, have a strong will in regards to something. When you say, I'm going to do this, nothing's stopping you. But what if you had to do it every single day and your environment was completely negative and says, no, you don't need to do exactly what you're doing? Eventually, that fire you have is going to get dim. It's going to become dull, right? Fire's raging. It's crazy. And it's going to start trimming down. Why? Because it's your environment. Then eventually you're going to be like, well, you know what? I don't got to do it today. You know what? I'll do it tomorrow. And you go from 6 days, or you go from 5 days to 4 days. Next week, right? You go from 4 days, you go from 5 days to 4 days, then from 4 days to 3 days. Then next thing you know, like you're down to 2 days a week. You're like, you know what, man? I'm going to knock this out in 2 days. The other 3 days, man, I ain't even worrying about those days. I got it. Why? Because your environment is dictating what is actually what you're experiencing, right? Your environment is dictating what is going to happen in your life. So what does that mean? That we have to set up our environment for success. If we don't create the environment for success, it's not just going to show up, right? We have to be the initiators of setting up that environment. So that's what the pictures are for, right? That's what, of course, the mental pictures are as well. But the physical pictures, right? It's something about seeing it, right? A wise man said, if you can see it with your eye, you can hold it in your hand, right? If I see an apple on a tree, I can go get the apple. I can see it. I can conceptualize. I can go take that apple, and that's what I want, right? But if you can see it with your eye, you can hold it in your hand. So that's what we're talking about, right? With the desire, right? Creating your world, and our words and those images, right? They fashion our world. Cool. So let's see. I broke down some of these things for you too, right? Proper uses of words and improper use of words, right? And these are just statements, right? I desire the most harmonious position for my greatest good. Improper use, right? Man, I don't want this job. I am a highly profitable trader. Man, I wish I was a successful trader. Again, you don't have to say these things out loud, right? You can just say them inside yourself. I am thankful that I am now Platinum 2000, right? I'll be a Platinum 2000 one day. I am abundantly supplied, and my supply comes to me now. Man, I don't have enough, right? And these are just the little things, right, that we want to be mindful of, because it's day to day. We don't think, you don't necessarily think about it, right? Like it was raining outside. It was crazy, right? Where I am, right? Northeast, Delaware, Philadelphia. It was crazy, like torrential rain. I'm driving and the water's covering the tires. I'm like, man, I'm driving through this thing. I'm driving all the way through. There were thoughts that came in my mind, like, oh man, what if the car stops? But I kept saying, I said, man, I'm just driving through. There are people slowed down. I changed lanes. I was like, I'm powering through. Well, why? Because I said to myself, I'm going to get through this. And you're probably like, well, that's a very simple. Yeah, it is simple. But when you got 3 feet of water, tell me how you feel. Your car's not that high, right? Water is touching your door, right? You driving through it and it's splashing up like you're in the ocean, like waves that are higher than the car, right? But that was just, I had the opportunity to say something different, to say, oh man, I'm gonna get stuck. Nah, y'all wouldn't be seeing me on this call right now if I got stuck. But it's just understanding that, right? Because it's life, right? It's normal. Y'all go through it. It rains on everybody, but it's how we are handling that kind of situation. So number 3, right? Affirmations. And we already kind of touched on these affirmations and afformations, right? How to shift your mind for success. How to shift your mind for success. And affirmations are definitely one way to do it, right? Afformations is the other way, right? Affirmation, something like my ships come in over a calm sea, right? My ships come in over a calm sea, right? And the way you want to do it, right? You want to be expressive, right? I say it like you're Italian, right? If you're Italian, even better, right? But Italians are very expressive, right? They talk with their hands, it's you could feel it, the emotion behind it, right? They mean what they say. So this is the same way that you want to do with your affirmations, right? You want to embody, you want to get involved in it. You're like, man, my ships come in over a calm sea, whatever it is. But you want to be actively involved in what it is that you're saying. You don't want to be like, my ships come in over a calm sea. Yeah, they do. Sometimes, most of the time, my ships come in. Sometimes the sea is rough, right? You're not speaking life to yourself, right? You're not speaking into your existence what it is that you desire. But the more you say it, then it'll start to change how you feel, right? And then affirmations, just like affirmations, is stated in a question, right? So instead of saying something like, my ships come in over a calm sea, you could say something like, man, why is it so easy for me to earn $10,000 a month, right? Why is it so easy for me to profit in the market every single day? Man, why is it so easy? I don't know. But your mind's going to tell you. Your mind's going to eventually say, hey, you know what? Bill? This is why it's so easy for you to catch pips, because you're the man. Your mind is going to tell you, right? That's why we got to make sure we're saying the right things, right? We're affirming the right things, right affirmations, and then the right afformations, right? Why am I such an amazing father, right? Why does my family love me so much? Why is it every time something comes up, I always have the money for it, right? You thought I was going to say something negative, didn't you? But those are the affirmations, right? And we using them, we combine those kind of things. Okay, and here's a couple, right? Health. I give thanks for ever increasing health. My body is filled with radiant health. We're going to flip to the other side. Success, right? The genius within me is now released, and I now fulfill my destiny. Then right down in the middle, God is my unfailing supply, and large sums of money come to me quickly under grace in perfect ways, right? Those are some of the affirmations. And we do them, right, every time we jump on these calls. And I believe this is the last slide, which you can see, you shall have, right? It's kind of like a repackaging of what I said earlier, right? If you can see it with your eye, you can hold it in your hand, right? So whatever you see, what do you allow yourself to see? You're already telling yourself, oh, that's mine. Oh, I can have that. I'm getting that. That's why I'm saying print the pictures out, right? Put the symbol on your steering wheel. It's probably gonna look crazy, but you're creating a different environment, right? You're creating your environment of abundance, your environment of prosperity, your environment of amazing health, right? You're creating that environment and you're living in that environment. And how the mind works, that's going to be your normal, right? You're not going to be able to go back to what was. And because it's your normal, it's going to eventually end up showing up in your life, right? That's what the reticular activating system is all about. There's something that I heard a long time ago, and I know you guys have probably heard it too. It said, you can take the boy out of the hood, but you can't take the hood out of the boy. What do they mean? He is a product of his environment, right? They always say that. It's crazy because they always say it when it's something negative, right? When something positive happens, oh, look at him. He's the best NFL player ever. He's a product of his environment. He had a great family, right? You don't normally hear that. It's normally the other way around. Like, oh, man, it was just him and his mom, man. He didn't have no dad. Man, I see why he's doing what he's doing, man. He's just a product of his environment. You know what I mean? You don't ever hear that. It's always on the negative side, but it's on both sides, right? It doesn't matter where it is, but it's on both sides, right? So if that's the case, if that individual is a product of their environment, successful or not, so I think it would just behoove us, right, to create our environment, right? Or recreate our environment. Make sure our environment is exactly what we desire for it to be, right? And I know a lot of times we look at dream boards. I think dream boards are awesome, but I feel like unless you're going to carry that board with you everywhere you go, it has a good effect when you're there, but when you're away from it, it doesn't have the same effect, right? So if you have a picture on your cell phone or a picture in your wallet or a picture in a notebook that you look at every single day, or your favorite clipboard, when you use that clipboard every single day, right? Boom, your picture is right there, right? Your image is right there. Your $100,000 trading account where you just placed 5 trades, you made $20,000 on those 5 trades, right? That's what you want to see. Why? Because you're creating your environment. It's becoming your new normal, right? And I think that is definitely the last side. Oh, okay. Now this is the last slide, and then we're gonna wrap it up. And then I wanted to do one more thing, but we're pushing up on 9. I might have to wait till next week. It's called a triangle of success, but yeah, we'll get to it next week. The triangle of success. So all this is geared towards mastery for sure. But as you see right here, right, your desire or your picture, right, you're picturing it, right. We talked about the pictures. You know it. And then the last one is you affirm it, right? So you got a desire, you know it, and then you affirm it. Well, it is, okay, it's 8:59. I'll give it a good 60 seconds. And it's not gonna, I don't know if it's gonna let me draw on here. I still haven't figured it out. But the triangle of success. No, I still haven't figured out how to draw on here. I'll get it one day. It's not working. All right. So the triangle of success, you ever heard someone saying being in the right place at the right time? I've heard it all the time, right? If you're in the right place at the right time, you can be successful. And I used to believe that, like, wholeheartedly. Like, I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm the man, right? That's what I thought, because that's what I was taught. That was my environment. Hey, bro, if you're in the right place at the right time, you're going to get the job. If you come home without the job, well, what can be the only scenario, right? I was there. I was in the right place. I had on my suit. I was at the right time. Hey, you know what? Cryptocurrencies, you know, they have opportunities right there. Everybody's in the right, or they're in the right time. They might not be in the right place, right? But you're in the right place. It's the right time. So, but that's only 2 points on the triangle, right? There's only 2 points on the triangle. There's still one more point. The other point is the right you, right? And that's one thing that I learned, right? And I know it talks about it in the book we're reading too with Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, but you can be in the right place at the right time and still fail, still not get what it is that you desire. Because there's one key ingredient that is missing, right? You got the 2 base points, right? Right place, right time, boom, right? But you need the top. You need that other point, which is the right you, the right version of you, right? The you that shows up may not be the right person, but you're in the right place at the right time. So that's the triangle of success, right? We want to get away from saying, well, I was in the right place at the right time. Okay. You know how many people bought lottery tickets? You know how many people knew about Facebook before it went public? You know how many people knew about Bitcoin back in 2012, 2013, 2014? I didn't hear about it until 2016, right? But if I knew back then, I would have been on it. Right? Right place, right time. People heard about it, but they weren't the right person, right? And I'll leave you with this, right? There's a guy right now, and I don't know if he got it. I pray that he got it. But I believe he's sitting on something crazy, like $300 million in Bitcoin. It's probably a little lower now because the price dropped, but we'll call it 150 million in Bitcoin because he bought it back in like 2012. But he doesn't know his key. He can't log into his account. And I know his account is like about to expire. But like there's only so many times it'll let you try to log in. Then it's it, right? It's like when you try to get into your phone, you keep blocking. It's like, nope, wrong password, wrong password. It locks you out, locks you out. Eventually, it's going to lock you out forever, right? And that's how it is with cryptocurrency. What happened? He was in the right place at the right time. He bought the coins, but he wasn't the right person, right? And success can constantly elude us if we don't focus on that last point, right? We're all in the right place at the right time. The only thing that's going to make a difference right now, right, for all of us is, are we the right person? And that's the triangle of success. And I wish I had the image. I'll take the image and I will make sure I post it in the chat for you guys. But that is it. It is 9:03. Hope you guys got some value out of this session. Let me stop the share. You already know, appreciate you guys for being here always, because you could have been anywhere else in the world, but you're here with us.
But you're here with us.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely appreciate that. Much love to you guys. Much success
with us.
to you guys. Another lovely call. Monday night mastery call. You guys have a great night. God bless. I will see you same bad time, same bad channel next Monday night, 8 p.m. Much love to you guys. Peace.
Yes, sir. Have a good night, y'all.
Yes, sir.